That. So that is an update on that. Another story that we want to bring you today is about the question of mobile phone roaming charges. It's a very thorny issue, and there are developments today because the Ministry for Industry and the Regions, Margaret Hodge, is going to be giving evidence to a subcommittee of the House of Lords. Effectively, the debate centres on whether mobile phone companies should be given a last chance to cut the roaming charges voluntarily for consumers as we move around Europe and we face our being pretty much hit by pretty high charges there, or indeed whether European legislation is the way forward. Well, Anthony Ball is the director of One Compare. It's the mobile phone price comparison website. Anthony, hello to you. What do you think is the right way forward? Should these companies be allowed voluntarily to cut these roaming charges, or is the law the way forward?
Well, we've seen in the past 10 years these companies have had the chance to cut roaming charges voluntarily, and it isn't until the EU have actually come in with this legislation and said that they're going to look to regulate it themselves that we've seen significant price drops over the past year or so.
Now, Margaret Hodge, of course, her view is that really we should be giving these companies a last opportunity to cut voluntarily rather than face a cap on charges. But what is your solution to this? Well,
really, the legislation that's about to be proposed by the EU, it isn't exactly perfect. There are enhanced costs on the mobile phone networks for connecting calls while you're overseas. So a possible solution to this that we would suggest is that maybe we could cap the cost of incoming calls. Because from our research, 2 out of 3 people don't know that they're going to get charged for incoming calls. So if we stop that and we allow them to take the phones abroad, we allow them to remain contactable so all the friends and loved ones can get in touch with them if there's a problem, and then they have a choice about whether or not they want to use their phone and they know they'll get charged extra.
And Anthony, remind us exactly how much people are having to pay extra for receiving and making calls around Europe rather than in their own national country.
Well, if you don't know about some of the opt-in packages that these networks have introduced since the EU have come forward with the legislation, then you'll be on standard rate prices on all networks apart from T-Mobile and 3. And that can mean as much as 94p a minute to receive a call while you're in France or Spain.
Anthony Ball, thanks very much indeed for that. And I'll be back, as I say, with more details on the airport departure tax story in the next hour.